What is going on, Pewter peeps? Welcome in to week number 2 post-game here on the PewterCast live after a 48-25 win over the Atlanta Falcons at Raymond James Stadium. That I got to be honest, I kind of had the little bit of a clinch factor going on there as the third quarter rolled on, and I'm sure you did as well, and we'll get into that definitely here coming up in the next about an hour or so. We'll probably roll on. We'll take your comments. We definitely want to hear about what you felt after week 2, and that chat, that link will be in the chat on our YouTube channel here, youtube.com/PewterCast. You can get it on the PewterCast.com, the PewterCast.live, and on Twitter. I'm Steve Carney. That's Ren Dax. Ren?
Hello. I was not worried at all. It's the Falcons. It's like it's the Falcons.
At 28-25, I was a little concerned. Now, it's funny. I was coming home from the Rays game. I watched most of the first half while I was at Tropicana Field covering the Rays game. And so I'm in the press box trying to do like 8 things at once, and I'm watching the Bucs game while the Rays game is going on. Or is ending in front of me. And so I'm watching. I got through the first quarter. I ended up going to my car probably about 4 or 5 minutes to go before halftime. And I watched I listened to the final drive on the radio as I was driving home. And everything that went on, the 3 defensive penalties, the 2 offsides, and the targeting penalty or whatever they called it on Carlton Davis. And then listening to BA talk to TJ Reeves as
what did he have to say?
It was, well, let's put it this way.
Sure.
I'm glad I'm not producing this week because he let out like an expletive laden tirade. like he dropped a couple of expletives in just the one answer that he gave TJ, because TJ, of course, trying to set him up. It's 21-10 going into the half, and he goes, what pleased you offensively about the first half? TJ giving him the softball, giving him something nice maybe to think about. Not a goddamn thing. Played like shit. It's like I was like, oh, here we go. We're dropping curse words on the radio, and of course there's no delay. I know that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. No, that's what they call in the FCC a fleeting expletive. But still, that's one of those. What's one of those ones where, I was waiting for him to drop like 2 or 3 more on top of the a GD and an S bomb. In the first sentence. I was like, good Lord. He was pissed going into the locker room at halftime. And I can only imagine the ass chewing that the defense got in that locker room at halftime, because they came out and looked a hell of a lot better early. I mean, you get the interception leading to the touchdown right off the bat. And I was pretty happy.
Yeah, and you thought the Bucs were off and rolling, but it's a divisional game, and a lot of people, like a lot of Bucs fans, like this is going to be blowout, it's going to be over. It ended up being one, but there was also a lot of fans out there going, "Hey, like they've got some weapons. Ridley kills us. Cordell Patterson is a Bucs killer. Don't care what kind of color helmet he's wearing. He's gonna he's gonna do something against the Bucs." We thought that the offensive line couldn't play nearly as bad as they did week 1. They had to improve. So, so people were saying things like that, and it's going to be closer than you think. And, almost, 5 minutes left in the third, it was. And then, they just dialed up the pressure, got some lucky breaks with some batted balls, and then, with Matt Ryan finally just cracked, Unlike what Dak Prescott did in week 1, he did not crack. And so it ended up being kind of what we thought it was. But, of course, with every game, there's some good and bad. But, if the middle of the field was wide open
I
all
was.
game long, and they just got away from it and kind of let Atlanta back into the game. They started trying this. Why are they throwing Leonard Fournette the ball? Why are they throwing Leonard Fournette the ball? Why are they splitting Leonard Fournette out? Anyway, and then with the defense, okay, there wasn't much pressure as we hoped because we saw the Philly game. But I thought the linebackers played well in coverage. Dean didn't get exposed. Cockrell did okay. It was just it was just a fine game. At no point was I worried at all about anything. So death taxes. Bucs score 30.
and do it for a ninth consecutive time. 9 consecutive wins with 30 plus points scored, which is a new NFL record, breaking the record that Brady had twice with New England. So congratulations to the Bucs on that. Let's go back to the first half,
sure,
because having watched it a little bit. Oh, look at this guy!
What's up?
We're bringing in Kyle. Well, go ahead.
Kyle,
go ahead, Steve. Finish.
How's it going?
What's going on, Kyle? I wanted to go back to the first half because
Just your camera a little, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's the only problem I had. Well, here, let me move in a little bit.
There we go.
Because
I do it too.
So that's the only problem with what we're doing here. For me, the first half, I loved the play calling. I loved the fact that they were willing to take the shots down the field. They got Gronk involved early. They got Mike Evans involved early. I was really happy to see that in the first half. And so I personally am, if they can get 4 quarters like the first 2 quarters as opposed to 4 quarters of the last 2 quarters, I think that's going to make BA much happier than what we saw here in the second half. Because let's face it, the second half. Yeah, they got the Godwin and the Evans touchdowns, but they also had 2 pick sixes from everybody's favorite Mike Edwards.
Yeah, but you can look at it as if he didn't score, the Bucs would have scored anyway. Like basically, what he really did was rob Brady of 2 more touchdowns by putting it in the end zone.
It's very true. What's up, Kyle?
So,
what did you see, buddy? Good to see you, man. Long time no time.
Yeah, I haven't been getting the notifications. I don't know why.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
What time do you guys normally go live on Thursday so I don't miss it?
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, like we usually go live on Wednesday, and then we'll record something, and then maybe go live Friday, maybe not. It's going to change around. It's going to change around. Right. But I'll tell you what, I'll start DMing you and letting you know what's going on.
All right, I did reinstall Twitter so that I could keep up with when you guys are live and stuff. So.
All
right. What'd you see, man? What'd you see?
Well, my biggest concern going into this game after week 1 was all the turnovers, especially between Rojo and Fournette. Right. And so far, I'd say it's getting better, but I don't want it to get out of hand. I don't want it to be like the Jameis Winston era where we felt like we had to put 40 to stay in a game. Right. I want to nip it in the butt now before it gets to that point. And my other thing was it just sort of seems like there's a lot of unnecessary penalties. I don't know if it's like just for beginning of the season jitters or whatever, but it seemed like a lot of unnecessary penalties on the Bucs that could have been avoided, like with that one with Devin White.
Which one was that?
Was it? He was like coming towards the line. They did like a false start, I believe, on the Buccaneers. Was it like a 3rd down?
No, I remember Devin like made him jump, but they called a false start on Ridley.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, the Jensen thing was borderline. I thought penalties were pretty good. The Jensen thing was like, well, that's Jensen being Jensen. I think you got to kind of take that with it. I thought it was kind of a touchy call anyway. And then, there was no, like, pre-snap penalties, really. Tom or Steve, you heard, the Shaq Barrett offsides, the phantom offsides.
Right, that's
yeah. Okay. With the phantom fumble, or incomplete pass, I should say, by Matt Ryan. Yeah, so... I mean, I thought the penalties were fine. Offensively, like you really, you put up 42 points. Yeah, 14 were from there. But like I said, if Edwards would have got tackled, it's not like they would have punched it in. There was only a little part where they kind of, like I said earlier, didn't attack the middle of the field. That kind of stalled a little bit. I thought that the offensive line in pass protection wasn't quite as good as I was expecting because Atlanta really doesn't have anybody. And you let Fowler get to you, like you've done something wrong. But again, it's game 2 and all that's kind of there. But I really don't have any complaints. I can nitpick if you want. Like the safeties take terrible angles, both of them, especially Winfield, and it's costing them. It cost them last year. It cost them early in the Dallas game, and it cost them in this game, and for big plays. And when you're the final line of protection, you can't do that. He's missing too many tackles for being the guy who's guarding the goal line.
I wouldn't say I'm worried, but I feel like the running back play's got to step up a little bit.
Right.
And I also wonder why we're throwing it to Fournette. But it's like, at what point, though, if these guys keep struggling, does Giovanni Bernard get a bigger role, or do we keep him in the role he's in now?
Someone said, I heard someone say on some other pod, or maybe it was on the radio or something, like, Giovanni's here for the end of the season or the second half of the season. And it's like, come on, man. Like other offensive coordinator or defense coordinators don't know we have him. Like, why are you saving him? I mean, Again, you're putting up all these points, but it seems like, a lot of the negative plays that are coming out of the Bucs offense revolve around throwing the ball to Fournette and Jones. Right. So if you're trying to eliminate those, then throw the ball to Bernard. I mean, what was it, like 3rd and 12, and Brady gets blitzed, dumps it off to Gio Bernard, makes the guy miss in space, and if it wasn't for a real good hustle play by Fowler, he would have picked up the first down and game would have been over. But like I say, that's the only time he touched the ball. So, I mean, I'm sure they have their reasons for it. And I can understand, the thinking of, he'll be a second half player, but what's the point? Because look, it was 30, what was it, 25? It was 25-28 with like 4 minutes left to go in third. Atlanta had all the momentum and they had the ball. And it all changed right there, thanks to Nacho. But yeah, so that's just kind of what I don't understand why they're not putting Bernard in the field and why they're not giving him the ball, because the percentage of bad plays that come out of Rojo, Fournette, whatever we'll call him Ronette.
I like that. Here's the thing that I thought we were going to see a lot more of Gio Bernard after at the end of the third quarter when Rojo had that first. It was like 1st and 10, and he gets 9 yards, and he goes out of bounds just before the sticks. And then
that was dumb.
Then they had to go for it on fourth down in their own territory at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah,
I was like, he is damn lucky that he made that 4th down, because I think BA may have cut him if he didn't.
Oh wow. Overreaction, Carney.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I'm being a little facetious on it, but I mean, you probably would have never seen Rojo again. It would have been all Lenny and on a lot more Gio Bernard. Then you would have seen a lot more of Gio.
It would have been a huge topic of conversation in Bruce Arians' post presser and then his Monday presser, and it would have been brought up again on Wednesday in his presser. So is Rojo out of the doghouse yet?
Monday on his radio show, Casey Phillips would have had to go for it.
It was So I think Greg Olson, he's really, he can breathe now. He can exhale. Like he made the first down. So yeah, and that was kind of a dumb play. And that's like the hidden yardage type of stuff that I talked about a lot last year, and I've always sort of been a proponent of. And that's kind of why I talk about the safeties angles. Especially, and it's shown up mostly for Winfield with me. I'm not in full-blown panic mode. It's only his second year, but sort of like the pub and the love he gets from fans about how good he is, like, you need to clean that up to sort of live up to what you're getting from Buccaneer fans, in my opinion. So, I like I said, I'm not pulling the panic button and say, get him out of there, and he's terrible, and he needs to clean this up, or he'll never be any good. It's just that, he's taking bad angles, and he's missed some tackles over this year. So it ain't. Everything's not all peachy and cream, but the defense looks fast. I would say I would like to see more pass rush this game, especially with the offensive line that we think Atlanta has. Mm-hmm. Because against a better offensive line, I mean, let's face it, the first big big boy game this year between two known Titans, two really good teams, it's next week. It's us and the Rams. This is it. This is the first big game of the season next week.
Would you both agree that if the Bucs play the way that they did today, like if they don't play 60 hard minutes, because I don't think they really they did not play a very good third quarter.
No.
If they don't play 60 minutes like they played the first, second, and fourth quarters, they're going to get beat by the Rams.
I mean, haven't they gotten beat by the Rams the last one or two times they played them? I think they lost last time they played them.
They lost last year in prime time when McVay refused to run the ball. I think they ran it 6 times, and he used remember the Dallas game Thursday? That's what the Rams did. Again. That's exactly what the Rams did. The time before that was that shootout we had with him in L.A.
Yeah, where they scored 55 points.
Yeah, we had 55 points, and Sue had that scoop and score to finally seal it within 2 or 3 minutes left to go. We couldn't cover a 20-yard out route to save our butts. But that was a different coaching staff, I believe. Yeah, it was a whole different coaching staff. So
yes.
So we'll see. So I mean, that's why I think it's going to be such a great game, coming up. So we'll see. But again, it's a good win. And I think I want to, it was my first time listening to Greg Olson as announcer, and I liked him. I thought he was good. Jury's still out, but I'm definitely not anti him. But I thought he summed it up well, where the margin for error for the Buccaneers is so much bigger than most NFL teams, especially a team like the Falcons. And we're if the Bucs play like they played against Dallas, we're probably going to lose. You can't have that turnover battle like that in the penalties. We're probably going to lose. And if they have a prolonged sort of period like they did in the third, minus of course the interception right off the bat. In early fourth, then it's just gonna be a good game. That's all I gotta say. Still undefeated. What are we now? Won 10 in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway, almost to 28-0. We're almost there. I can see it. It's cresting over the horizon.
You're almost to halfway.
We're almost halfway. Yeah. Oh, halfway to going undefeated. But anyway.
There you go.
I want to give some other people some chances to come on here, but my one thought I want to leave you with is I want to know what you guys think about our cornerback situation. If we should go sign a veteran for some insurance, sort of like what we did with AB when Evans was hurt, or if we should just train the ones we got and hope for the best.
Go ahead, Steve.
The big question is, what's out there? How many? What sort of veteran cornerbacks are out there? How many of them are, and usually veteran guys, they're usually signed by now because now their contracts aren't guaranteed for the entire year. So you normally will see veterans already in somebody's building by week 2, and so the guys that are still out there sometimes aren't in the best shape. Sometimes may not be in the right mindset to get back into football, because if they're not playing now, and especially if they weren't in somebody's training camp, there could be a big problem. It's like, what are you going to do with this with these guys? So it should be interesting.
Thomas, that's what I was getting at. Someone had said something about Sherman possibly talking to Tampa Bay. That's why I said that.
Yeah, he's the big name that's out there. There has been a few tweets that I've seen that said Tampa has called Richard Sherman and asked and see what's going on. I think there's also probably a buttload of other teams that have asked about Richard Sherman's going on. It all depends, and the Bucs don't seem to be queasy about that because they brought Antonio Brown on with pending legal ramifications coming down the road, possibly. The same thing's kind of sitting there with Richard Sherman. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was, you never really know a person, but when I heard the things against Richard Sherman, I'm like, come on, man, like you never even a hint. This guy's been, of character-wise, creme de la creme of the NFL.
He went to Stanford, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he's really smart and very articulate, and has a lot to say and very opinionated. But I lean towards it's not going to come probably nothing's going to come of his off-field issues right now. So, Richard Sherman gets to kind of pick. I would like to go out and get somebody, yes, some type of veteran, somebody with some experience. Like Ross Cockrell has plenty of experience as a backup. I'd like somebody who has some experience that actually, has played 2 or 3 years in the league as a starting corner somewhere.
Well, I mean, the other thing that you have to worry about is how, the guys that you're looking at that may be able to provide you an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are going to cost you some coin, and then the question is, how do you make that work? And then that's when you have to get the front office to go, okay, how can we finagle this to work under the salary cap?
Right.
Because
they can always do
that.
They always find money. You take the guy who's gonna play out his contract, which of course, as it has been the past couple of years, has been Ali Marpet and Mike Evans, and they just
and you extend it out,
and you extend it out, and you give them, oh yeah, I know I owe you $27 million. Would you like some of that right now? Okay.
All right. All right. I'll give you a couple of names that are out there.
All right. There you go. Look at Stoney doing live research.
Absolutely. So here's a couple other cornerbacks that are available. These guys are a little younger than Richard Sherman, which I kind of like as well, but also coming from teams that may not be, they may not fit in quite to the BA and Todd Bowles way of things. Quentin Dunbar from Detroit, he's 29. He's available. Prince Amukamura is available. You could get him as well. Garyon Conley is available. Though the one that interests me though is Darqueze Dennard is available from Arizona.
With those guys, you have to I don't know their measurables, but anybody below 6 feet tall is out. Bowles has a type, and it's the long, lanky. Like Chris Wilcox, the reason he got drafted was because he's 6'3" and he has wings like an albatross.
Yeah, Dennard is 5'11".
Okay, close. How big is he? Is he 2 plus?
I think he's one. But they say 195.
All right, that's pretty close. So in a pinch and emergency, you're not bringing him as a long-term thing. That's a possibility. But if some of these guys
5'11", 200 pounds.
If these guys are 5'10", 185, I don't care. They're just not gonna bring him on. They're just not. They'll find somebody. But yeah. So to answer your question, Kyle, yes, I would love to bring in a veteran. But Steve brings up the good points. Some of those people, I don't even know who the hell they are.
Right.
And they're the best of the best that's out there besides Richard Sherman.
Fair enough.
So that's what we got. Anything else before we let you go, buddy?
No, always good to talk to you guys. I'll be around, and go Bucs.
Yeah, man. Go Bucs. Good to see you, man.
Yep.
Thanks, Kyle. Good to see you, buddy. So Kyle always calls in as we now have to readjust ourselves. This is live YouTube, everybody.
All right, yeah. I gotta fix these boxes. I'll do that my next day off.
This is what we have to do. I'm gonna kind of bend myself in here.
Well, don't do it too bad because we got John on deck. We can just bring him up right now.
Yeah. All right. Let's get John in here. Bring him in here.
There we go.
What's up, John?
Hey guys.
Maybe if you got an adjustable chair, Carney.
Maybe I just get an adjustable desk and
just get an adjustable chair. Don't make it so difficult.
How about an adjustable head?
See, watch this. See. There we go. What's up, John? What'd you see, man? What are you happy about? What are you mad about? Talk to me.
Nothing much really, but the thing was this defense. Though I was very frustrated with it in the third quarter.
Okay, why?
I was really
why?
frustrated.
What were they doing wrong?
It just seemed like they were getting close, but they weren't getting home.
Yeah,
that's what
true.
The defensive line. It was like they were getting so close, but not getting home.
Right.
It was like you were so close to the home plate, but you just missed out.
Yeah, I mean Devin White had that the one time he came in unblocked and Matt Ryan kind of moved to his left.
Yeah, what is that?
White just slid past him like he was on ice.
Someone's at the door.
Wait, you getting pizza? Someone's getting pizza. So
yeah.
Are you getting pizza?
Oh no, it's somebody coming home. Sorry about that.
But Devin White come in unblocked. Matt Ryan kind of slides to his left and Devin White looked like he was on a slip and slide, went right past Ryan, and it went for a first down. That was one of the third down conversions in the third quarter. But you saw when we talked to D. Orlando Ledbetter earlier this week, and he talked about who's going to block Vita Vea. I don't know about you, but I was so happy to see what Vita Vea was doing manhandling people. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, you would get penetration, and the secondary, I do think we need to bring in a veteran. I do think this Ross Cockrell, he's not good when he has to play full time. He has to play a lot of drives at once. He's just not good enough.
Yeah.
And so
I think Ross, the closer to the line of scrimmage he is, the better he plays. As he gets deeper down the field and routes, sort of like the worse he becomes, just because of his physical limitations. But then they, go ahead. I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, it seemed like he can't play zone. It seemed like he's more of a he can't play zone. It seemed like he's more of a man-to-man type of guy.
Yeah, man-to-man close to the line. You can't run him like you run him on a cross. Like the receiver's eventually going to separate. Maybe even the tight end's eventually going to separate. I think that's why it was so interesting. Plus, you got to think of this because it's also a little unfair to kind of be jumping on Ross as playing corner.
It was just popcorn.
Because something about popcorn. Because like Cockrell almost played exclusively safety all through training camp. Like he barely, if at all, lined up at corner. That's why when I heard that Carlton Davis, might not play today early on in the week, I was like, hey, like put D. Delaney in there and have Cockrell as like and then put Winfield in the slot. And then you have Whitehead and Edwards as your safeties. Put Edwards single high because he's a ball hawk, by the way, in case you didn't know. And then you can use Cockrell to give guys blows at the nickel spot, at an outside corner spot, or either one of the safety spots. But Davis came in. He ended up playing, but then he got banged up a little bit. Dean was out for a play or two there. I was really expecting D. Delaney to play outside because that's not Cockrell's. Like Cockrell's got to play the slot or play safety. Like he's not really. If he's your starting outside corner, you're gonna have problems in a 17-game season.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I said this last podcast. Like, he's a really good fourth corner in the NFL, but you know what? He's a fourth corner in the NFL.
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. What else you got, man?
The offense was really good. Of course, Tom Brady being Tom Brady. Can't really complain.
At this point, it's just disgusting. He threw 5 TDs and everyone's just like, yeah. Last week,
no picks.
Yeah. No picks. I don't know, probably 300 and something yards, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've got 9 touchdowns in my first 2 games this season. 650 yards. That's no big deal.
Yeah, he short hopped one to Gronk, and I was all mad. And then I'm like, what? I'm like, he's like 21 of 28 for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing? It's just, it's like man. It's like when a golfer misses a 3-foot putt. It's like, well, I'm not very good at 3-foot putts. But yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches, and we know that we're not going to have a problem scoring on anybody, especially the way the rules are set up in the NFL. And no one on our schedule, it's either we're going to beat ourselves offensively, and that's how we're going to lose a game, or someone just outscores us. There's just too many weapons, and Tom Brady's not going to have a bad game. He had a bad game, and we still won when he threw 3 picks in 1/2 in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And we still won the game. So, it's very different covering a winning team, because we're so used as Buck fans to be programmed to yell and scream and start pointing fingers, oh, it was the offensive line's fault, or if James could just hold on to wouldn't turn the ball over. And then you have this game where it's like you weren't really worried the whole time. Okay, what was the big thing you were frustrated about? They were getting home, so they were getting plenty of pressure. They just weren't sacking him.
Yeah, because it's like the Eagles got 2 against them last week, but we only got 1.
Sure. See, look at what you're complaining about, John. We just won the game by 3 scores, and you're on here going, we didn't get as many sacks as the Eagles. Like it's weird.
And
like
we didn't get as many sacks as they got on us. They got like
exactly. So, but where's what's the thing to complain about? We should be celebrating this win about how the defense pulled it out, smoked him in the end. Edwards seems to be really developing as that third safety, as a guy who we thought, oh my God, he might not be, he might not pan out. Now he was one of the best tacklers in the secondary. He was better than Winfield and Whitehead today, which is rare because but he took some bad angles. But Edwards have made real solid tackles. So you got another stud back there.
Hero?
What's that?
Can I give a shout out to unsung hero?
You can do whatever you want, John.
I gotta say though, the people's champion, Bradley Pinion, he has been excellent. The people's champion.
I'm calling him Bradley's one glove.
Yeah, he's been punting it good. Like, oh my God, like he's been excellent.
Yeah, when you get down to when you drop one down there, 60 yards with no return, and you saw him give the big Tiger Woods fist pump. I always thought that I thought that was hilarious. Here's the thing. You talked about how we only had one sack against Matt Ryan this week, and the Eagles had two last week. But look at how many times that Matt Ryan ended up on his ass that Dak Prescott last week didn't. They only had one quarterback hit last week against Dak. They had 7 this week against Matt Ryan. Yeah, I mean, we saw Devin White knocking Matt Ryan on his ass a couple of times. We saw Nacho get in there. We saw
Nacho had a good game.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah, you did.
I mean,
shout out to Nacho.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, where did that come from? I guess that really tells you how bad the Atlanta's offensive line is. Like Nacho got 11 tackles. Or something.
No, it's funny. Looking at the box, Nacho finished with exactly 2 tackles, 1 solo, and it was a tackle for loss.
And tackle for loss. Yeah.
So, which was on that third down, which was third down there that forced.
That was a huge play because Atlanta had all the momentum and and stuffed them on third down because they would have picked up that first down. It would have started to get. Then I would start to get worried, but then I kind of wasn't because I wanted Atlanta to cover because they were getting 12. So I was kind of hoping they'd score a touchdown.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we have not mentioned our new sponsor, BetUS. I had a bad week. obviously, if you saw Friday's episode, or if you watched Friday's episode, or you listened to Friday's podcast, I had 4 predictions that I was going to give out. I went 0 for 4 this week, and here's the. I laugh about it. I think that I made the right decisions, but
obviously.
when the process well, I think I went the right way. I think I had the right. I think the process was right, but I think that one of them was the Jets +6. They lost 22-6, but Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions in that game.
Should have seen that
really
coming.
account. You can't account for turnovers. And then I took the Bengals on the money line to win outright in Chicago. They got down early. Joe Burrow had a really good fourth quarter, but they lose by 3 points.
Are we going to get a half-hour explanation why you're 0-4?
No.
Okay.
No, and then I lost the two on the Bucs because I took under 52.
That's right.
And I took the Falcons under 20.
Well, I'm 1-1 right now because I took all the teams that had double digit point spreads. Somebody covered. Who covered? Who covered? For
Houston covered.
Houston covered for me. Atlanta did not, and then I get Detroit on Monday night. But when I saw the tweet, John, you'll appreciate this. When I saw the tweet about who was out for New Orleans today, they had 2 defensive linemen. Lattimore was out and C.J. Henderson was out. I signed up on BetUS, used the promo code, got my money, and then took the Panthers and the points. So I had the Panthers and taken 3.5, and I bet $50 and I won. I think I won like $41. So I'm up.
Yeah, Jameis Winston was Jameis Winston again.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, look at
getting
that.
back down to
Jameis.
earth.
Yeah, Jameis became Jameis again. All right, man. Anything else before we bring Bobby on, John?
Yeah, one more thing though. I
Sure.
gotta say, if you remember, if you bet on Bet US, don't bet too. If you have a problem, call the Gambling Addiction Hotline and don't bet unless you're not under 18 years of age.
Hey,
So,
those
okay.
are that's my lines.
Yeah.
Those
Thanks,
are my
John.
lines.
Thanks, John. This go Joe. The more you know. Thanks, buddy.
Exactly.
yeah, I'm doing your job for you. Don't worry.
Thanks.
Wink,
Thanks, John. Hey,
Bye,
hey, as long
bye,
as-
bye, John.
You
We're
forget-
gonna bring Bobby right up.
Hold on. Yeah, get Bobby ready. I do want to mention Bet US though, because we are talking about it, because the NFL and college football is going on. The NHL and the NBA are fast approaching. You definitely are going to need a sports book with integrity and longevity like Bet US, which is right over my head right now. Bet US, of course, is pioneer in the sportsbook industry for almost 3 decades, thriving, paying their loyal customer base. BetUS.com, loads of bonuses. You can call now at 800-69-BET-US. That's 800-MY-BET-US. Get a 125% sign-up bonus by using the promo code PewterC125 on BetUS.com or at 800-69-BET-US. They've got, of course, the NFL, college football. They'll have the NBA and NHL. You can bet UFC, golf, round matchups. You get live betting. And, of course, Ren's favorite, the ponies.
The ponies.
The ponies will be there as well. Again, betus.com, promo code PewterC125, and get a 125% sign-up bonus. So say you sign up and you deposit $100, you'll have $225 to work with there. So again, promo code PewterC125 for betus.com.
Best way to support the show. What'd you see, Bobby?
Hey, Bobby.
Am I your big guest that you give the ad read in because you know everyone will tune in?
Yes,
Damn.
that's it.
Damn straight.
Yeah. We sent a tweet out too.
Honestly, I wasn't planning on calling in tonight, but after the game, because I had to, I live in Ohio, so I have Red Zone, but couldn't get the Bucs game, so I had to stream it online. And
Which red zone do you have? The Scott Hansen red zone or the Andrew Siciliano?
I
red
have
zone?
the Hansen. I prefer Siciliano, but I have the Hansen, and Gruden was dropping some F-bombs the end of the first half, the Raiders game, which was funny to see him react to that.
Nice.
But honestly, I wasn't going to call in, but after the game, I watched the Ring of Honor Monty Kiffin induction. Oh, man. I teared up a little bit. That was awesome. And just to see the fourth quarter that Mike Edwards had, just, a Buccaneer defense taking over a game was, I don't know, it's really special. So I felt like I'd call in, and if any Bucs fans watching this haven't seen that induction, watch it. It's awesome just to see the players like faces on the field, just even like Mike Allstott, who played offense, just like being there smiling. And then a little awkward moment when Gene Deckeroff was talking about the Hall of Famers and pan up to Rondé right away with his red jacket.
I know.
Hopefully he gets there.
He'll get in.
Oh, it's going to be a point where we have more in than the 85 Bears or some of these legendary defenses, which I'm not against, obviously. I'm wearing a Simeon Rice jersey right now. But I don't really have that much to say. I just you guys should put the link in your YouTube chat, or I will. It's awesome. It's really awesome to see that and just see how, that's how I got into football, was watching the Buccaneers teams and seeing the offense squander opportunities, and then the defense just take over and just win games for our team, which is awesome. But to the X and O's, so I do need to kind of check myself. So, my Ronald Jones, I'm a huge fan of his.
Right.
Frustrated with Leonard Fournette, but I was very happy with Ronald Jones, fourth and one conversion, and then I think a play or two later, he totally blows a block, and our 44-year-old quarterback gets hit. And then it just, it's a humbling fan moment where it's like, ooh, I kind of understand everything I've said. And maybe I need to dial that back a bit. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Leonard Fournette's a bigger body, and maybe he's just more comfortable blocking these linebackers or edge rushers coming in. But like I said, not too much to say. The Gronk and Brady connection is something that is unbelievable to watch.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I mean, I don't know. I kind of relate to back in 98, 99, Dante Culpepper, and he had Randy Moss and Chris Carter, and it seemed like wherever they went, he knew where they were going, and it just seemed like, I don't know, they were playing a different sport. And with Gronk and Brady, it's like it just, when something breaks down, they just know how to communicate to each other, whether it's pre-snap or during the play, to get things done. Like what Edwards, awesome game. Like you guys said, Nacho, awesome game. And I don't know if that's due to the Falcons line being really poor, but it was great to see him, because I feel like last year we kind of looked at him as a Vita Vea replacement. So everything kind of had an asterisk on it that he did well, but he was a legitimate attribution today, and which was great to see.
Yeah, he had some good contributions and gave Vita an opportunity to get some rest. It was so hot out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw a lot of guys dropping. You saw Mike Evans had to leave because of cramps. You saw a lot of guys dealing with that. So and so that the fact that you were able to get the big guy off and to get rested and to get hydrated so he could come back in and do what he did best. Nacho did a fantastic job of giving him the right spells at the right time.
Yeah, it was great to see that. Pass protection, I'm a little bit worried about. I haven't watched the game over to see where it was really coming from, but it did seem like, there's plays, we mentioned it last week, where there's an awkward, 44-year-old quarterback play where Brady is falling to the ground, throwing an awkward pass. There was 2 or 3 of those this week, but it was just, him stepping up or trying to, as you mentioned earlier, Steve, when Devin White was rushing Matt Ryan, he was able to go to the left real quick. Like Brady doesn't have that in him, and he is intelligent and he has a swagger. But
hey, he ran for that first down right before the touchdown.
Yeah,
the touchdown in the at the beginning of the third quarter. Here's the thing with on both sides. I saw this on a couple of different occasions. You saw the defensive line. You saw that unbalanced defensive line. Sometimes you'll see it a lot on the offensive line where you'll see it unbalanced. But you saw like 3 guys on one side of the line, and then they would run that inside stunt. And that's where I think the problem is because they were doing that. And there were a couple of times that I saw Donovan Smith and Ali Marpet sitting over there going, we're blocking the same guy. That means somebody isn't being touched. And that was the guy that was going through. But you saw the Falcons do the same thing. They had that a couple of times. In fact, I think it was the last sack that happened in that game. But I remember Deion Jones his sack of Brady was on that unbalanced line. And then I remember the last sack in the fourth quarter of Matt Ryan was the same way, where you saw the unbalanced defensive line going into the inside stunt, and a guy was coming through middle of the middle of the line unblocked.
Well, that brings up an interesting point I've been thinking about. There's obviously some creativity with someone in the backfield with Brady, with Vita Vea, and that's almost a smokescreen now. But on these plays, when they've done it with the play action, Leonard Fournette going into a screen, they did that I think 2 or 3 times this game. Mm-hmm. But I think that's when we see something like that. I don't know, maybe it's something later in the year, but Brady checks to a Chris Godwin or even Cam Brate if he's in the game, or someone who we know can chip block or just stay into block. And if Brady's able to, maneuver in the pocket, get out for, a slip screen or something like that, because I just don't think him in the backfield, when we see something overloaded to one side, we can't risk him going down this year. I mean, this is, I think, the best this team is going to be, maybe in the whole history of the Buccaneers. But that'll be interesting to watch. It's crazy to think about, like, what are they keeping things close to the chest? I know Ren mentioned with Giovanni Bernard, like, are we saving him? I live in Ohio, and he kind of played his way out of Cincinnati, so I'm not as high on him as it seems like you guys or listeners to this are. I mean, I'm pretty content. I still think Keyshawn Vaughn can be a contributor to this team. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see, like, how much the playbook expands, and maybe, the first 7-8 games, I'm not going to be upset if it's 2 of the 3, 4, 5 touchdowns we have are Brady and Gronk communicating before a snap to say, they think you're in man coverage, this linebacker. If you block for a half second and then, just run a seam, like, we got you right there. I'm not against that. It's just, I don't know. I've never been this confident in a Buccaneers season.
I know.
So like
weird.
Ren said, it is crazy. I am watching these games, and I made dinner during this game. I haven't made dinner during a Buccaneers game in 15 years. I mean, 15 years.
I did too.
Like, I literally was making dinner, like, we'll pull it out. And then we make a play and be like, this is amazing. And that third down, sorry, Steve, I saw you were about to say something, but that conversion of Brady it's just one of those things that's spectacular to see. Like, if he gets hit, his season could be over. But he's so savvy where he knows there's only 2 to 3 players. He knows the angles they can take. He knows he get the yardage and slide. It's like, and then Matt Ryan, I just wanted to say the Monty Kiffin thing, get off, but I don't have any Buccaneers fans to talk to. But I think Matt Ryan is going to explode. I feel really bad for him. I'm a big fan of him. I mean, the Falcons have beat us, but, like, he's a great quarterback, and he is so red in the face and angry. It's just, I feel like, I mean, I would have rather Matt Stafford gotten the Rams job over Matt Stafford. I mean, they're very similar. Like, he had great teams, but he deserves it, man. Like, he played his brain out today.
Yeah. He really did. I was wondering if somebody caught this because I saw it on television. I forget if it was. I think it may have been. I don't know if it was after the first Mike Edwards pick 6, but he came over to the sideline and like Arthur Smith was saying something to him, and he had his helmet up, and he looked like he wanted to rip Arthur Smith's head off.
Like, who are you for telling me this, man? Yeah, I've been here.
Yeah, like, excuse me, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm Matt Mother bleeping Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm the one that's gone to a Super Bowl here out of the 2 of us.
Yeah, and he must. I mean, he has respect for Brady, but he must hold some ill will for him. And
yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, all good points, man. But Bucs win. Like, I don't and again, about the Rojo Leonard thing. Like, if you want to save Gio for, like someone said in the chat, for LA next week, make it a surprise. Okay, great strategy. But if you're saving him or just not using him because you like Leonard and Rojo as a combination better, that's dumb. Because again, the very small handful of negative plays the offense has, 80% revolve around those 2 guys.
Yeah. You almost had 2. You did have 1 turnover on downs, and you almost had a second from the 2 of them. Because remember, Fournette turned the ball over on 4th down late in the game. Because he could get with Vita Vea blocking for him
because he didn't run with his head up. And then he fumbled on a screen pass. And fumbled. And lucky that Chris Godwin was Johnny on the spot and knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah. He's such an awesome football player.
Godwin,
he gets that title. I mean, oh my God, man. I think he could play about 7 positions. He is so good.
And goalie.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. Anything else? We got Corey from Nashville.
No,
I haven't seen Corey for a while.
Just I don't want to make it about my dog, but
Well, you're supposed to have tagged us in these Carlton Davis.
I added. Hey, I haven't had personal social media, Ren, for 11 years.
Okay.
So
well,
I did follow you. I followed you, so that's about as far as I can go.
Okay.
It's at Marvin Cavapoo. If you want to look it up, you can. I'm not going to push it. That's not my agenda. It's more for me than anything. But yeah, nice talking to you guys. And really, Bucs fans, check out that Monty Kiffin. It's awesome. That's what Bucs football is about for me. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Get out of here, Bobby.
We're going to bring up Corey. Corey, before you say anything, Steve, do you have any Monty Kiffin behind-the-scenes stories?
You know, I don't have a whole lot of Monty Kiffin stories.
Okay, no problem.
When I got here, because I got here the year after the Bucs won the Super Bowl, so I had never. I don't think I ever met Monty personally. I think I did meet Lane Kiffin when around that same time, but I don't think I ever met Monty. So I don't have any Monty Kiffin stories. I know a lot of people that do have Monty Kiffin stories, and maybe I'll try and figure out if I can get somebody to come on and
no, that's okay. It's now or never. I don't think the whole Ring of Honor thing. We'll talk about it later, but I just don't get it. Corey from Nashville, what's up, man? How you been? Long time no see. What's up? What's up?
What's going on? I'm driving.
Yeah, do your thing. We know you're a car videoer. You're a car vlogger. You're always in your damn car.
Man, 2 weeks in, I don't know this team right now.
Why?
It's just defensively, it's feast or famine. If we don't get a turnover, it's kind of tough. It's kind of annoying me, but I don't know. Matt Ryan is experienced. It's a division game,
right?
So I kind of get it a little bit, but man, they cut that a little close there. And just as a team as a whole, and we're a good team. Don't get me wrong. We're a top 5 team in the NFL, period, bar none. But this kind of lends itself to the greatness of Tom Brady. We're getting carried by him. Like the run game is not efficient enough. The pass defense isn't very efficient either. You know we're going to throw the ball. You know what we're going to do, and you can't do anything with the way that this. I want to call him a young man. The way this man deciphers plays on the field, look, you guys know how I felt about Jameis and things, but I'm not. So when I was just talking to my friend earlier, when Tom Brady releases the ball, I feel so good about it.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. Sometimes, look.
Sometimes, like 60-70% of the time, when Jameis brought that arm back, my heart would go up like it would. You start to sweat. That's why it was so funny when Bobby's like, "I made dinner," and I'm like, "So did I." Like I'm normally standing in front of the couch with my arms crossed, thinking about how am I going to get outside between commercials break to smoke my 12th cigarette, and it's halfway through the first quarter.
But Tom Brady, man, and like I said, it talks about his greatness. More so than like what we're missing, because we're a really good team, and quite frankly, they're not going to say it. They're professionals, but let's be honest. I really feel like they were looking ahead to the Rams. Like I really feel like that, because they know how good the Rams are probably our number 1 contender to knock us off, in my opinion, in our conference.
After the first 2 weeks,
especially after the first 2 weeks. The only thing about the Rams, their defense can be had this year. Staley. He was really good with them last year. This year, they haven't been. They're kind of like us, honestly. I expected our defense to be a little bit better, but it's a division game, so I'm gonna dial that back. Ronald Jones.
Yep.
Now,
here we go.
I don't want to hear. Can I curse on here?
Of course you can.
Okay. I don't want to hear any more shit about why he's not in the fucking game. He got in the game on that drive when they cut it to 3, and first of all, we almost didn't get a first down.
Right.
He didn't want the first, I guess. And then he misses a blitz pickup. The dude came right at him. Yeah. That was the green dog pickup. How do you miss that? And it's like
he was expecting the red dog.
You expecting the red dog. Okay, Fournette makes mistakes too, but you also saw him make up for some with some of his blitz pickups.
Yeah, that's true.
You wonder why Rojo is not just because he fumbled the ball in the weirdest times ever. It's not because sometimes He's feast or famine with Roach. I just don't get it, and that looks psychological to me for him not to get that first down when he could have got about 11 yards on that play.
It was just
He
like
ran out of
Space
bounds.
Cadet stuff. That was just Jamel Dean not knowing where you are, Space Cadet stuff.
Like, I just don't want to hear it anymore. He's going to have to earn his reps now because you know what? In the fourth quarter, in a tight game with the other team with the momentum, Bruce Arians turned the ball to Rojo. He gave him an opportunity. Did he not? Am I wrong?
No, you're on.
He gave him an opportunity in the clutchest moment of the games, letting you know, hey, Rojo, Ronald Jones, I trust you. I'm going to put you in this game even though we have no momentum. We haven't really been running well. I'm going to put you in this game, and I'm going to see what you can do when we
and I'm going to throw it to you.
And throw you the ball, and you run flat out of bounds, and we ended up having to go for it. And he still stuck with him. So I don't want to hear no more. He's babying him. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to trust Arians. If you want Fournette in there, if you want Bernard, because Brady can't get hit like that. That can't happen.
Yeah, no.
Like, that was so irresponsible to me on Ronald Jones' part. And it was such a half-ass effort on the block. And you know what? If you're going to miss the block, I'd rather you hold the guy. Hold him. Reach out, reach your hand out, and grab his jersey and pull him to the ground. If you're going to whiff on a block that badly, hold him. Period.
Would you have written Rojo's name on the board if he did that in your classroom? On that, if he did something like that?
Oh yeah. He would have lost all his recess. He would have lost all his recess time. Oh, you're gonna sit next to me for recess.
You get extra detention, extra homework.
That was just irresponsible to me. But I loved Carlton Davis with the bat, Mike Edwards with the pick. And then Mike Edwards doing what we drafted him to do, first of all, was to make plays in the secondary like he did.
Yeah.
The first interception. We drafted him to be that hybrid safety corner, and it came to fruition. So, like I said, I think we were looking ahead to the Rams, unfortunately, in certain instances. But then, kudos to the Falcons, man. Shit, they're pros too, man, and they didn't quit. I had no doubt that we were going to win the game, but, they didn't quit. They played like they wanted to win, and kudos to them guys. But, hey, it's always go Bucs, baby. 2-0. Let's keep this going. Hey, I'm actually going to be – I don't know if you guys are going to be in L.A. I'm actually going to be in L.A. next week. I'm going to that game. I was in Tampa for week 1. And God damn, the damn Cowboys won. Oh, that just puts a damper in my Sundays sometimes. I hate them.
You mean today? Because you realize the Bucs won week 1, right?
No. Yeah. I know. I'm saying I just hate – I hate when the Cowboys win, period. It's like I can't. I don't know. It's like when
bunch of entitled. I don't even.
Cowboys.
Yeah, they're a bunch of entitled Cowboys. I only say that because my brother-in-law, who is not a sports fan, he may be the only man on the planet who's not a sports fan, but he's like, I only watched the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys in it because I lived in Texas for 10 months.
Gross.
Yeah, it's like, give me a break.
But you guys, thanks for having the show.
Man.
I'll definitely be calling in at post game.
Hell yeah!
For the next 15 weeks now. So
yeah, if you're out, you say you're going to be at. So are you going to be at SoFi?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you got to get us. You got to hit us up from SoFi.
What you need?
No. I'm saying you got to hit us up post game.
Oh, post game for sure.
Yeah, hit us up from SoFi. We want to know what was up. We want to know the feel.
Yeah.
And then we want a little virtual tour of the stadium.
Okay, I could do that.
Right.
I'm gonna be going crazy because we're gonna win.
Yeah,
and all those Rams fans gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be going crazy.
It's gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be a good
Hell
game.
Yeah.
All right, Corey. Good to talk to you, man. Glad to see you back.
2-0, baby. Go Bucs.
Glad you made it home.
Thanks, Corey. Thank you, brother.
I'm in the gym now.
That's what I meant.
All right.
Now you're home.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
He's so good. Now back to trying to fix our.
There we go.
A bunch of camera fixing.
All right. I'm staying like this the rest of the show.
So all we do is see your hat.
That's it. All right, man. So what do you think? What do you got? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I said at the beginning of this hour that I was a little nervous when it got to 28-25, only because they had made some big conversions. They score on 4th down. They go for 2 to get to within 3, and you're kind of going, oh no. And mostly I was angry at that point because not only had the 20 missed, but also the 52 missed at that very time because they go for 2 and that's 53, and I was just cursing up a storm in my apartment. My wife is going, "What the hell is wrong with you?" So I'm like, lost again. So
I'm 0-4. Ren won the Texans game.
Week one. We won. I was joking about that as I was leaving the Trop. I was talking with Adam Berry from MLB.com, and I was like, "Yeah, we've got BetUS sponsoring the PewterCast now." And I said I did four picks, and I think I'm going to lose all 4 of them this week. So it's going to end up being, here's what not to pick this week.
There you go.
Ren will tell you what to pick. I will tell you what not to pick.
Carney's lead pipe losses.
Lead pipe losses. Yeah, you're going to get lead pipe brained. Lead pipe brainings of the week. So, I mean, look, 2-0. They showed they could weather the storm against a defensive or a division game, I should say.
Yep.
And I think that it's going to be fun going out to LA and trying to see what the Rams can bring.
Yeah, they cut down the penalties. It looked like when they pushed the ball down the field, they were unstoppable today.
Yep.
And they even left plays on the field, like that bomb to Evans, which would have been a touchdown.
Yep.
If you could have scored on that. Godwin had a drop that stalled the drive on third down. That would have been a first down.
The other thing that I loved seeing, 10 different receivers.
Yeah, I didn't know we had that many.
Yeah, I mean they 24 receptions to 10 different guys. So you saw all the touchdowns, Gronk the 2, Godwin, Evans, but nobody had more than 5 catches in this game. So after that, Gio had 2, other than the big 4. So Evans, Godwin, Gronk, and Leonard Fournette had 4 catches, and of course the fumble. But you look at it, nobody other than those 4 guys and Gio Bernard had more than 1 catch. OJ Howard, it was nice to see OJ Howard get a catch.
Yeah, that was nice. How
about that? Yeah. How about that? Again, cover 0. You're gonna play cover 0 on a Bucs tight end. That is a bad idea. But Antonio Brown only had 1 catch. He was targeted 3 times, but he only had 1 catch. Ronald Jones, Cameron Brate, even Tyler Johnson got into the action for once. So we'll see what happens. But it was nice to see that many. You spread the ball around, and I think good things will happen next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. Like, I think it's gonna be back and forth. I think it's gonna be more of like, this is gonna be 49-51. Like, this is gonna be like a Madden game, 5-minute quarters, playing your friend like in 1987.
Yeah, I can see it.
Circle route to Walter Payton. Like, you just can't stop it. It's unstoppable. The computer will not let you not complete the pass.
Yeah, I saw Darrell Henderson left the Rams game this week, this afternoon.
Doesn't matter. They're not going to run the ball.
Rib injury. Yeah, the guy you watch out for, of course, Cooper Kupp, 9 catches, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the win that they had today.
Yeah.
So,
like we say, we have the best trio. Dallas says they have the best trio. The only other team in the mix is the Rams, with Kupp, Woods, and who's the other one? I don't know. Well, we'll find out next week. Anyway, death taxes, Bucs score 30. We might have to pump that up to Bucs score 40. Death taxes, Gronk gets 2 TDs. It's 3 games in a row. Death taxes, Brady's. I don't know. Like, it's not
death
fair.
Taxes, Bucs win.
There you go. Death, but yeah, I like 30 better. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Get out of here, man.
All right, yes, because we've done our hour plus here on the PewterCast. Ren Addiction, tell us where we can find you.
Best place to find me is on Twitter at the PewterCast. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football. But if you don't want to put your thought out there or your tweet out there in the Twitter sphere, feel free to slide in my DMs, and I will talk Buccaneers football with you there as well too. That's right, and you probably, if you slide into Ren's DMs, you can figure out the correct promo code to use for BetUS. Again, PewterC125. It's the PewterCast without the ast. Yeah, that's right. So for me, at Steve Carney, StPete9.com for Ray's stuff. Under the Orange Roof podcast drops tomorrow morning.
you will hear from the Uber prospect Shane Boz, who is scheduled to make his major league debut Monday night against the Toronto Blue Jays. So you can have that wherever you get your favorite podcast. Just the same places where you can find the PewterCast: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play. If you are listening on iTunes, ratings, reviews, thank you so much. Again, support the show by going to betus.com and use the promo code PewterC125. Spend some money, get a bonus. Gambling's going to be legal. You know, it's good. It's good
legal.
stuff. It's legal.
It's everywhere.
It's
Don't
legal.
Try to fight it.
It's legal. It's everywhere. Enjoy it. It makes things fun. So, thank you to the Fansided Network as well for being a part of the PewterCast. And until next time, Ren, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Go buck yourself.